Wouldn't it be nice if you had the ability to learn more about how your adversaries, those cyber criminals, are doing what they do and how you could protect yourself from what it is that they are doing? Well, if you are itching to get that information and protect yourself from those cyber threats, look no further than the MITRE attack framework, folks. This really is a game changer. So let's take some time to explore this game-changing offering that we have. So what is MITRE attack? Well, it's a framework. It is a globally accessible knowledge base of adversary tactics and techniques based on real-world observations. So what is it essentially? It is essentially a database of those tactics and techniques that the cyber criminals use in the real world. And this knowledge base is used by you as a foundation for the development of specific threat models and methodologies that you want to take. So for example, this is going to be very beneficial whether you are in the private sector, you're in the government, or you provide cybersecurity products and services throughout the world. Let's dig in a little deeper here. With the MITRE attack framework, there are matrices. We have our enterprise matrix, our mobile matrix, and our ICS matrix. Let's just focus on the enterprise matrix right now. And what you'll see is in this matrix, we are dealing with tactics and techniques that the cyber criminals are utilizing against enterprises, against your organization. So you'll see across the top here different tactics. So let's click on tactics up at the top with enterprise. And what is a tactic? A tactic is the why. So why is the adversary doing this? So reconnaissance. The adversary is trying to gather information they can use to plan future operations. Resource development. The adversary is trying to establish resources they can use to support operations. Initial access. The adversary is trying to get into your network, and so on and so forth. So you can see all the different tactics that the cyber criminals are utilizing. So let's go back to our enterprise matrix, and you'll see that under each tactic, we have techniques. So what is a technique? A technique is the how. How is the adversary achieving what they want to achieve? So how are they achieving that tactic? So for example, with reconnaissance, we have 10 techniques. So these are the 10 different techniques so far in this knowledge base that cyber criminals use for reconnaissance. 7 techniques for resource development, 9 techniques for initial access, and so on and so forth. And you can see this matrix goes on even further. So I'm going to scroll down and we'll scroll over. There's even more. Scroll back up. So impact, exfiltration, command and control, collection, and so on. So let's focus right now on something like initial access. There are 9 different techniques. You'll see there's one technique here called phishing. Let's click on the phishing technique. And this knowledge base describes to you what phishing is. Adversaries may send phishing messages to gain access to victim systems. All forms of phishing are electronically delivered social engineering. Phishing can be, etc. And you'll even see that if that particular technique has sub-techniques associated with it, you can click on them and get more information. So specifically, attachments versus links versus as a service. But if we scroll down, you'll see that there's also examples. So that way there you can better educate yourself. But what's really valuable here is the mitigations. So you know there's a tactic, you know there's a technique. How can you mitigate? Well, you could use antivirus, anti-malware, network intrusion prevention. You can restrict web-based content. You can modify software configurations. And then there's end-user training. So let's click on end-user training. And then under user training, train users to be aware of access or manipulation attempts by an adversary to reduce the risk of successful spear phishing, social engineering, and other techniques that involve user interaction. So the techniques addressed by the end user training, these are the ones that can all be successfully mitigated. Also, you'll see information about how you can detect. So again, where are we right now? We're under the tactic of initial access. The technique is phishing. Well, how can we detect this? Through application logs, file creation, network traffic. So you have, free of charge, at your disposal, a database that is dedicated to providing you with information about your adversary's behaviors, the tactics they use, and the techniques they use to accomplish that tactic. But then you have the ability to learn how to mitigate those and then come up with the plans you need to better protect yourself. So folks, I encourage you, if you've never been to attack.mitre.org, I suggest you go there and bookmark this site. So that way there you can take advantage of what MITRE has to offer you.